This is Life Dimensions, and my name is Dr. Frank Trupiano. I'm coming to you from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I have a fantastic concept I want to share with you today. It's called the Sedona Method, and I believe it can transform your life. So I hope you enjoy it. Hello and welcome. My name is Dr. Frank Trupiano, and today I want to share with you a concept that I think can really transform your life. It's a concept, actually it's a process, a way of thinking that can change your state of mind and help you to create tranquility in your life. I know we all would like to have more tranquility today, and I think you'll find it interesting. The concept is called the Sedona Method, and before I get into it, I want to lay some groundwork about feelings. You know, there's a lot of things we could do with our feelings. We can express them, of course. We can suppress them, which we do quite often to manage situations. You know, when you're at work and you're having feelings maybe about something that's going on, you can't really speak your mind, so you suppress them. Another thing we might do is repress them. This is not healthy, of course. This is an unconscious process. And when we repress feelings, we can create psychosomatic illness. In fact, a lot of illness that people have is because of unexpressed feelings. We can also just feel our feelings. There was a gentleman, can't think of his name, but I think I have a handout or a shot of that book, 90 Seconds, neurologist who studied feelings in the laboratory. And he came to the conclusion that feelings only last 90 seconds. So if you could just sit with your feelings, allow them to be, don't react, don't escape, just simply be with them, they will pass in 90 seconds. But of course, most of us can't do that. What's unique about the Sedona Method, it gives you a tool, something that can actually empower you to work with your feelings. You know, feelings literally come from the subconscious mind. They're triggered by things in our environment or by people, sensations, and so we don't really know how to gain control of them. But the Sedona Method, which actually came about by a man named Lester Levinson. Lester was a physicist, and very smart man, but he had a lot of issues, a lot of relationship problems, multiple medical problems. And he said, I'm a smart guy. I need to come up with a way to help myself. And he developed the Sedona Method, and the Sedona Method is used all around the world. And it's all about learning how to just let go of your feelings. And so that's really what we're going to do here today, is teach you a concept that can help you to just let go of your feelings. You know, life is in here. It's really not out there. If you recognize that, and you can learn to change what you feel inside your head. So today we're just working with feelings. Sometimes when I work with my clients, I work with thoughts. There's different ways to come at a problem. But feelings today is what we're focusing on. So I want you to understand that. We're not talking about becoming more rational, trying to find some solution-focused technique. This is all about just letting go of the feelings. Because once you let go of the feelings, you get out of the way. And life just happens to you. It just kind of forms around you. So I think that's sufficient for now. But the Sedona Method is really so simple, a lot of people miss it. And it's based on 3 simple questions. And the questions are, could you, would you, and when? 3 simple questions. Now, the questions lead you to let go. A couple other things I want to tell you before we actually get into practicing this method is that there's 2 reasons why it works. Some people really need an explanation of why things work. But we use things all the time that we don't know how they work. Most people don't even know how a computer really works, or even eyeglasses for that matter. But we use them. The idea of the Sedona Method is you just need to trust the process. And I always say the proof is in the pudding. So if it works for you, it should work for you. It's been validated by Harvard University. It's been taught to CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. to help them in managing their clients. So it has some scientific proof to it. But really, it doesn't matter unless you could use it. And I'm trying to teach it to you without all the jargon so that you can actually use it for yourself. The questions lead you to let go. Could you, would you, when? And they work for two reasons. One, what Lester discovered was that he really understood human nature. I don't know how else to say it. And you'll see as we go on with this, with the teaching, that he really did. He tapped into what it is to be a human being. And one of the things he understood was that to let go of your feelings, listen to the words, is a natural, innate ability. You already have the ability to let go of your feelings. If you did not, you'd have one emotion, whatever emotion you were born with. If you were born angry, you stay angry, right? But somehow you're able to let them go. Some days you're more happy, other days you're more sad. We have a variety of feelings every day. But we have an innate natural ability. What does that exactly mean? Because this is important. If you understand this, then you're more likely to try this concept. You have an innate ability. Like a child learns to walk. It doesn't have to think, or it just comes natural. We were wired to walk from infancy, really. It's all in the DNA. We're wired to talk. Again, a child just learns to talk a language, right? No matter what culture he's in, whether he's an American or Chinese or whatever, he's going to learn that language because it's an innate ability. So that what I want you to understand is that the Sedona Method is based on this idea that you have an innate ability to let go of your feelings. It's simple as that. And the other reason, which I find some people have difficulty with, is that the Sedona Method is based on the idea that you are not your feelings. You are not your feelings, and that could take some time for you if you struggle with that. But you are the witness. Your mind, think of it as like the sky, and the feelings, think of them as kites with a string on them. And it's not until you say, I am angry, that you become angry. You could say, I'm having feelings of anger. Or you're not sad until you say, I'm sad. Or it could be, I'm having feelings of sadness. So you could see there's a separation between you and your feelings. The feelings and thoughts are really not who you are. The real you is the sky. The real you is consciousness. The real you is the blue, beautiful sky that just is. Neither this nor that. And then it's not until you identify, which is a term psychologists like to use. When you identify with the feeling, you become it. So those are the two reasons why the Sedona Method works. Again, you have an innate, natural ability to let go of your feelings. And two, you are not your feelings. So anyway, just trust me as we go along. And as we practice this, you'll see that it really has some validity. Another important point I want to make before we actually get into the technique itself is that, and this is really important because this is what it's all about. When you let go, when you go through the questions and you focus on a feeling or some issue, when you let go, it will feel good. That's what we're looking for. I want you to feel for the shift that happens in your mind. For me, the way that feels, it's a soft, gentle feeling. You may find yourself smiling. The more difficult the emotion is, or the more painful, the more profound that feeling will be. And again, it varies from whatever you're dealing with. But think of a shift from feeling negative to feeling positive, and you'll feel it in the mind. So I think I've said enough about just a couple. I know I'm going to keep going on and on, but research behind it, people who do the Sedona Method, it creates lower blood pressure. So if you got a blood pressure problem, but in general, it's just a relaxation technique, creates tranquility. Another thing, Harvard did research where they compared groups of salesmen. And this is interesting because I have actually worked with salesmen. They improved their sales by 33%. And that was one of the research studies. How? Well, before they would go in to make their sale, they would do the Sedona Method. Whatever, say they had some anxiety or negative feelings about their customer, before they went in, they would let those feelings go. They got out the way. They became more objective, more rational, and they were able to do their job. So anyway, that's just a little research. So let's just play with this a little bit. Take a moment. Think of something, and I'm going to sit down while we do this. Think of something that's been bothering you. It could be something on your job. It could be with your spouse or, a relationship issue. I don't know. It could be someone that cut you off on the road. I know a lot of people have road rage. All I want you to do is to bring that feeling to mind. Whatever it is, you choose. Welcome that feeling. You don't have to close your eyes. This isn't willpower. Just trust the process. So let yourself feel whatever that feeling is, that negative feeling. And answer the questions as best you can. I like to just go through them at first. Feel the feeling. Could you let go of those feelings? Would you? When? See, remember, we have the ability to let go of the feeling. It's a choice. You can let it go now. What happens with most people when we try to learn this technique is we think we have to think about it or we need to wait until something happens. Again, we're just dealing with the feeling itself. Let yourself feel the feeling, whatever it is, whatever that issue is. Could you let go of it? Would you? When? The answers should be yes, yes, now. You have the ability to let go now. You do not have to wait. A lot of people have resistance. So, I'll work with them. They don't want to let go. So I ask them, could you let go of the feelings of resistance? Could you? Would you? When? So once we get rid of the resistance, then we can actually get to other feelings. We stand in the way of our own happiness. If we want to bring heaven to earth, we must maintain proper thoughts. It's as simple as that. Psychologists say we spend over, I think, about 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, we think. Interesting. And of those, about 80% are negative. And 5% we're not even aware of. Think about that. All of us, we're not just talking about people with mental illness. We're talking about the general population. What if you could learn? And it just breaks me up because I work with so many people that are unhappy, sad, full of anxiety. There's no reason for it. Just simply start working on yourself. And in these videos to come, I'm going to continue to give you the information that can transform your life. I want to be honest with you. I'm very good at what I do. I have great successes with my clients. And I'm doing this because I know it can make a difference. Let yourself feel whatever you're feeling right now. Whatever hurt, whatever anger, resentment. Again, could you let go of those feelings? Would you? When? So that's the process. It's very simple. And there are books and there's tapes, I'm sure. There are other people on YouTube probably you could find that will go over it. But what I've taught you is the Sedona Method in a nutshell, and that's all it is, letting go of negative feelings. Gave you some information behind it. Now, there's one other part that I want to share with you. And to me, this is the most profound thing about what Lester came up with. And what I said earlier, that he understood human nature. He says there's only 3 things behind all our feelings. Only 3 things behind all our emotions. That's interesting. I mean, there are books written on emotions. People struggle with them all their life. And there's only 3 things? Well, there really are. And you will relate to them when I put them up. Everybody does, because they're based on the human condition, being human. These are things we all want, and they are wanting control, wanting security, and wanting approval. Wow, wanting approval. So these three things, right? We all want them. If I ask you again to think of that feeling that you were trying to let go of earlier, hopefully it's changed some. You should feel like there's been a change in that feeling from it's more positive. But to get a deeper release, we want to get into these questions. So think, again, welcome the feeling you were feeling earlier, whatever it was. Whether it was anger, frustration, anxiety, fear. Ask now, what's behind it? Is it wanting control, security, or approval? You know, all of us have a theme in our life. And when I work with my clients, I ask them, try the Sedona Method for at least 1 week. Give it a chance. Because I know not every method works for everybody. It's not the cure-all. It's a tool, though, that can really help you and transform how you think. Again, feel the feeling, whatever it is. Welcome that feeling. What is behind it? Is it wanting control, security, or approval? If it's control, could you let go of wanting control? Would you let go of wanting control? When? Feel for the release. If it's about security, and I know that sounds strange, we think, I don't want to let go of security, huh? But if you could, you would have more peace. This is an attitude shift. I'm not telling you not to work and not to be responsible. I'm just trying to show you need to change your attitude if you're going to change how you feel in your life. Again, if security is an issue, could you let go of it? Would you? When? Feel for the shift. And again, if it's about wanting everybody to like you, this is a big issue. I work with lots of people that have an issue with wanting approval, to the point where they sacrifice their own happiness for others. And I won't get into that. Maybe in another video we'll talk about that. A popular name for it is codependency. But again, if you have problems with approval, could you let go of it? Would you? When? Feel for the shift. Now, what's interesting too, sometimes a problem when it's very difficult to let go of, it's about all three or two of them. A lot of people, it's control and security. Okay? So you would let go on both of them. Now, I know that may be difficult to let go of wanting control and security and approval. But can you see, look, I should ask it this way. Can we have control? Can we really have control in our life? I don't know. I don't really think so. I know here down in the South we have hurricanes every year. We have tornadoes now. And when it rains, it really is a thunderstorm. Control, you could lose everything in a moment. This world is so unstable. And the truth is, we are on a planet called Earth that travels around the sun, and the sun travels around the galactic sun. And I've been told that's like 11 million miles a second. Think about that. Do we have control? No, we don't. Security, I work with lots of people who have lots of money who don't feel secure. I mean, they are multimillionaires and they can never feel that they've achieved enough. When is enough? It's a state of mind. It's not having things. Possibly you know that by now. And approval, do you really? I mean, I don't care how nice you are. Somebody will not like you. So you need to learn to stop wanting that kind of thing. When you stop wanting this, and this is the unique thing about the Sedona Method, this is kind of a spiritual, metaphysical technique, because my PhD actually is in metaphysics, so I come at things from a holistic perspective, mind, body, and spirit. And this is a spiritual concept. It's so interesting. You know, Einstein said, if you believe the universe is for you or against you, it makes all the difference in the world. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. When we let go of wanting these three things, control, security, approval, it's a paradox. The universe, or God as you understand him, gives it to you. When you stop wanting something, literally, you have it. It's really neat. So the more you work at this, the more you learn to let go and be at peace with yourself and the world as it is. Well, there you go. That's the Sedona Method in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to write me. We'll be putting something down there, my email address. And of course, I want you to subscribe, because I have many more teachings like this that are cutting edge and that are transformational. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good day.